imagine the future the way you'd like to see it.
I don't think there's almost any boundary anymore of people saying the question. Imagine this.
If you can imagine it, then it can be.
Go to the problem and imagine a world where that problem has been removed, and then say, well, how many steps are there from this world to that world?
Imagining a new future, a new path, a new direction.
If you have the power to imagine it, you have the power to change the world.
Imagine a more perfect world than the one we live in, and then to actually engage in making that happen.
Sorry to interrupt. Hi, my name's Eliza. I just wanted to say that I believe, and I think you'll agree, that there's never been a time in history when the creative spirit wasn't really important. Especially now. Am I alone on this one? In fact, we need a whole new generation of innovators. What better way to do that than by promoting creative thinking? But how do we do that? An experiment? Competition? Forcing everyone to take arts and crafts? How about a challenge?
We wanted to create an opportunity for people not just to talk about entrepreneurship, but to actually do something. And to create a challenge for them that was going to be really stimulating and provocative and was going to get everybody's creative juices flowing.
Picture this. It's February 2007. It's Entrepreneurship Week. And Stanford has invited universities from all over the world to an innovation challenge. Thousands of students, hundreds of universities, a dozen countries, they took the idea and went global.
One of the things that's exciting about the challenge is that we're giving people an everyday object and told them to create value.
Value. Did you know that there are 18 definitions of that word in the dictionary, and they all apply to the challenge?
And of course, you could do it by how much money you make, but you could do it the amount of social value you create, the amount of entertainment value, how creative you are. We have all sorts of unlimited categories.
Unlimited! Like an all-you-can-eat creativity buffet. That analogy doesn't work. But you know what is limited for the challenge? Time. 6 days to be exact.
Your challenge must be completed by Thursday morning at 10 o'clock.
Here comes the good part. The content of this film.
Each team will give a 3-minute pitch. You can either show a 3-minute video or have 3 slides, but you have 3 minutes.
So, what about this everyday object? What do you think it is? Any ideas?
Are you ready? The Post-it.
We wanted to come up with some object that, first of all, was ubiquitous. It was something that everybody had access to.
At first, it was a bit of a shock because you said it would be ordinary, but it was really ordinary.
It was something that in some way was symbolic of creativity.
I think it's a real challenge because, I mean, what could you do possibly with a Post-it?
And symbolic of coming up with ideas.
The thought itself was so innovative that we really came up with some very, very crazy ideas at that moment.
Post-its were perfect.
I think it's great that we're using Post-it notes to do this because, of course, Post-it notes are an invention that came from somebody thinking outside the box with what he could do with something.
Post-it? Are you kidding me?
Well, I love the idea that it starts off as ubiquitous. It starts off as mundane and ultimately becomes special because of what you do with it.
A normal person would think you can't really create anything. So that's why we have to think differently.
It engages all of the things we want our students to know. Teamwork, collaboration, communication, imagination. It's all of it wrapped up into one.
I think it's very interesting to take part in this activity.
It's sort of a good preparation for later life, which is, you never have infinite resources. And you're given this constraint, and in this constraint, it's Post-it pads. When you're out in the real world, you will also have constraints. You'll not have infinite capital. You won't have infinite employees. You won't have infinite time. Life is like a Post-it pad.
Now, adding value to a normal day product is very difficult, and I think that makes the whole challenge very special.
It taps into, in some ways, the rawest level of their creativity, because what you're giving them is apparently nothing. And so you're really asking them to create value from virtually nothing. That's sort of the essence of entrepreneurship.
If you give students a chance to think creatively, they certainly come up with some really wonderful ideas. And this is an opportunity to test that creativity and to see it in practice.